All right, today we're going to start reading Secrets at the Chocolate Mansion. Chapter 1. I've never been good at double Dutch, and I don't really care for double bubblegum. The sweetness only lasts for 30 seconds. After that, it tastes like it belongs on the underside of someone's desk. When people call my twin brother and me double trouble, we both roll our eyes. Yet, somehow, the prospect of a double date, a real, official double date, seemed different, thrilling, and full of new possibility. I mean, who knew what would happen? I'll tell you who. I'll tell you who. No one. That's why I felt so bouncy on Saturday afternoon, just about ready to bubble over with enthusiasm. Enthusiasm I worked hard to hide. Because, come on, it's okay to be super excited about a date with your boyfriend, but it's not exactly cool to show it, especially when you're in the 7th grade. Acting cool and calm was harder than usual on account of the fact that our friend Sonia's mom had just opened an old-fashioned soda fountain, and we were on our way to the grand opening. We, meaning me, my boyfriend Milo, my best friend Lulu, and my brother Finn. Yep, that's right. My best friend and my twin brother are a couple. It's a long story, I think. Actually, I don't know whether it's a long story or not. They've kept me in the dark about most of their relationship, and I'm happy about that. I'm still getting used to the fact that they're together. I don't want to know details. Not that any of that bothered me today. My homework was done, my weekend chores were complete, and there was nowhere else I wanted to be on this brilliantly sunny Saturday afternoon. It was the perfect day for an ice cream soda, or a root beer float, or a famous Brooklyn egg cream, all of which would be available at Sonia's Sweets in just a few short moments, or at least that's what we've been told. So we just got introduced to the main character, Maggie, and her boyfriend, Milo, her best friend, Lulu, and her twin brother, Finn. And they are currently on their way to go eat some ice cream or drink some milkshakes at their friend Sonia's mom's ice cream shop. Sonia is so lucky. Having a candy store named after you has got to be the best thing in the world, Lulu said as we strolled down 7th Avenue towards President Street. If I ever open up a candy store, I'll totally name it after you, Finn told her. He ran his hand through his long, dark, shaggy hair. Finn pays way more attention to his hair when Lulu is around, I've noticed. He also spends tons of time getting ready in the morning, even though his wardrobe hasn't changed. He still wears the same basic outfits, jeans or cords and t-shirts, his thin gray hoodie when it gets cold outside, and a navy blue puffy vest for the coldest days of winter. It simply takes him much longer to put them on these days. Lulu grabbed his hand and bumped his shoulders, gazing at him with the goofiest expression I've ever seen. I worked hard to keep from rolling my eyes, but allowed myself a small smirk. Milo caught my expression and raised his eyebrows. I saw that, Maggie, he whispered. I could tell he thought I was being too critical of them, but wasn't about to admit it. Saw what? I asked with a shrug. Milo just shook his head and laughed. Lulu's is the perfect name for a candy store, said Finn. It's short and to the point. Lulu crinkled her nose. Don't you mean short, to the point, and way too boring? Sorry, said Finn. Have you got a better idea? Sure, Lulu said, thinking for a moment. Lucky Lulu's. What's lucky about it? Asked Milo. The fact that I have a candy store? Lulu said, as though it were obvious. How about Lulu's lollipops? I asked. There is alliteration there at least. What? Asked Finn. Alliteration, I repeated. You know, when two words start with the same sound. That thing we've been studying in English all week. Come on, Maggie, it's Saturday. Let's not talk about school, said Finn. Using a word I recently learned in school hardly constitutes talking about school, I pointed out. Right, Milo? Milo grinned at me and shook his head slowly. I'm not getting between you and Finn. Lulu, I asked. My friend laughed in my face. You're asking me to take sides between my best friend and my boyfriend? No way. How is it a fight when there's only one answer? I asked. Let's talk about candy stores some more, said Lulu. Lulu's lollipops does sound cute, but won't it be misleading if I'm selling all types of candy? She had a good point, and I told her so. Then how about Lulu's lollipops and more? Lulu considered this as she twirled a strand of wavy black hair around her finger. The more is too vague. I could be selling tires or something. Tires and lollipops. Now there's an exciting concept for a business. Milo teased. Oh, sarcasm, Lulu said, her voice drenched in it. I love sarcasm. Can't get enough of it. So please don't stop. Seriously, keep it coming. Sorry, said Milo. No, I'm totally serious, she said, getting right up in his face. Keep it up. Okay, I get it, Milo yelled, throwing up his hands. Tough crowd. Oh, she's vicious, said Finn. Be careful. When Lulu socked Finn's shoulder and he said, Youch! See what I mean? Hey, check it out, I said as we got closer. That new sign looks amazing. You can see it from a block away. I think that's the point, said Finn. I know that, I said, shoving my brother. I'm just saying, they did an awesome job. Sonia's dad made it, Lulu told us, and I think it's more of a picture window than a sign, since it makes up most of the entire glass storefront. He's really into stained glass. It took him months to finish because some of the materials had to be imported from Italy. That sounds serious, said Milo. Yeah, he just left yesterday to go to India for a whole month. He felt so bad about missing the opening that he went all out with the window, Lulu explained. The sign, picture window, was huge with sparkly blue glass lettering. It also featured fluffy cupcakes, frosty milkshakes, and juicy pies. All of the food had arms and legs and looked as if it were in the middle of a dessert-inspired dance party. This is too excellent, Lulu said as she opened up the door. She started to say something else but stopped as soon as she took in the scene. I was speechless too. Once inside, I felt like I'd stepped back in time to the days when girls wore poodle skirts and boys greased back their hair and everybody listened to rock and roll music on the jukebox. This is incredible, Lulu said. Sonia's mom totally outdid herself. She was right. Little round tables with elaborately curled iron chairs dotted the black and white checkered floor. Old-timey carved wooden signs hung on the walls. They read ice cream 3 cents and Sundays for a nickel. Think those prices are real? Asked Finn. I wish, said Lulu. Wow, that's an awesome display, I said, pointing to the rack of penny candy opposite the cash register. It was filled with things like candy buttons, Turkish taffy, Chico sticks, whack-o-wax lips, ice cubes, chocolates, and a bunch of other stuff I haven't ever seen before. I feel like I just walked into 1950, said Milo. I half expect people to use words like jollygee, willikers, and okie dokie. Do people actually say those things? I wondered because I've only heard those in movies. Good point, said Milo. Maybe that's just how old-time teen speak is depicted in movies and on TV. Speaking of, I said, did you know that when we were little, Finn thought the entire world once existed in black and white and not color? It's all people saw before the invention of color television. Like television engineers invented not only color transmission, but the actual color spectrum. Milo laughed. For real? Lulu said, that's adorable. Finn grinned a sly grin. It's true. And I had plenty of embarrassing Maggie stories I could tell, he warned. Like, you all know how she feels about mice, right? Well, this one time when we rented a cabin in Maine, I decided this was the perfect moment to change the subject. Oh, there's Sonia, I said, pointing to the back of the store. Sonia stood up behind the long white marble counter, filling up straw holders with red and white striped straws that looked like peppermint sticks. Her long dark hair was in two braids that hung over her shoulder. She wore a pink apron and a white paper hat, just like the other employees in the store. As soon as she saw us, she beamed and waved us to come closer. Lulu and I reached over the counter for hugs while the boys waved. Thanks for coming, she said. Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss this for the world, I told her. How's it going? You look so grown up. Love your hair, too. Oh, the braids are a requirement, Sonia said, tugging on one braid. And speaking of official stuff, if the Department of Labor comes by and asks any questions, I do not actually work here because that would be illegal. I'm too young. I'm only helping my parents out on a volunteer basis. Okay, you may not be officially working, said Milo, but you sure look like an authentic soda jerk. Who are you calling a jerk? Asked Sonia, hands on her hips, clearly offended. Milo laughed. I'm talking about your hat. That's what it's called, a soda jerk hat. Oh, yeah, I knew that, Sonia said, although clearly she didn't, because moments later she tilted her head to one side and asked, if I'm wearing it, does that make me a jerk? You couldn't be a jerk if you tried, I told Sonia. You're as sweet as everything in that awesome candy display. It's true, too. Sonia is all bright smiles and sunny, shiny rainbows. She's one of the nicest kids at Fisk Street Junior High, which is why she's one of my closest friends. Do you sell chocolate malteds? Asked Lulu, leaning her elbows on the counter. Of course we do, said Sonia. Do you want one? No, said Lulu. I was just wondering if you had them. Didn't you see the picture of the chocolate malted in the window? Sonia asked. The dancing one? Asked Lulu. Of course, except I figured maybe he was for show. Or she. Which is it? All our malteds are gender neutral. The shakes are a different story, Sonia told us, laughing at her own joke. But what you guys really should do is try the pie. My mom is famous for them. There's a fresh one in the oven right now. Should be ready in a few minutes. Pie sounded pretty good. What kind is it? I asked. Strawberry rhubarb. My mom made 10 of them from scratch this morning, Sonia said as she untied her apron strings and stepped out from behind the counter. Follow me. I reserved the best booth for you guys. It's all the way in the back. Taking a break already? Sonia's mom, Ricky, called from the other side of the store. I've been working since 7 o'clock this morning, Sonia cried. When Ricky laughed, I noticed she had the same smile as Sonia, or vice versa, I suppose. I'm kidding, sweetie. We've got things covered. She gestured towards the other two employees at the shop. One of them looked a lot like Sonia and her mom. Same dark skin and big brown eyes. She wore her hair in braids, like Sonia. They could have been twins, except this girl was much taller. Older, too, I think. The other person was a white guy, tall, with long blonde hair that hung down his back in a low ponytail. Who are they? I asked. Sonia pointed to the girl with braids. That's my cousin Felicity, and the other guy is Joshua Marcus, who lives across the street. Okay, so we got to meet Sonia, and her mom just opened up a new soda shop, and Sonia helps out at the soda shop. We also got to meet Sonia's cousin Felicity and got introduced to Joshua Marcus, who also works at the soda shop. Oh, cool, I said with a nod. I thought he looked familiar. He's cute, huh? Sonia whispered to me. I guess, I shrugged. It's hard for me to tell. I don't like older guys, so he's not really my type. He's only 19, said Sonia, and I'll be 13 in less than a month. And while a 6-year age difference seems like a big deal now, when we're older, it's so not going to be. My mom is 10 whole years younger than my dad. I don't know, I said, staring at Joshua. 19 sounds ancient to me. We made our way through the crowd to the back booth, which was completely empty except for the reserve sign on the table. Sonia plucked it up and slipped it into her back pocket. Wow, VIP treatment, said Lulu, sliding into the booth. How fancy. Only the best for my friends, said Sonia. This place is packed, I said as an entire baseball team streamed in through the front door, cleats still on, shirts untucked, and mud streaked on most of their pants. It's a good sign, huh? Said Sonia. I'm so excited for my mom. She's wanted to open a place like this forever. So Sonia said she's excited for her mom. Just then, Ricky walked up to us while carefully balancing a gorgeous pie on a shiny silver tray. Hi, everyone. This is fresh out of the oven. Who would like the first slice? Just looking at the pie, the flaky brown crust, the bright, sweet-looking strawberries bursting out of the top, made my mouth water. And since no one else spoke up, I said, I'll have it. So Maggie just said, I want to eat some pie. Sonia's mom set the platter down with a wink. Please, be my guest. And be honest, this is a new recipe and I'd love your opinion. She placed a slice on my plate and I set the fork down. I took a generous forkful, raised it to my lips, bit down, and almost choked. Uh-oh, something happened. She went to eat the pie, but something is not right. Ricky cringed. Oh dear, I didn't mean that, honest. I tried to smile politely as I spit the crust out into my napkin, except it's hard to be polite while spitting, especially while spitting out baked goods directly in front of the actual baker. Sonia must have thought I was kidding around because she snapped, That's not funny, Maggie. Someone might see you. I know, and I'm sorry, I said, looking around at the shop. Luckily, no one seemed to be paying attention to our table, but there's something wrong with that pie. It tastes like the ocean at Coney Island. Like medical waste? Asked Milo. I elbowed him and clarified, No, like salt. Finn pulled the pie closer to him, took a tiny slice of crust, and set it on the tip of his tongue. Immediately, his face twisted into an expression of disgust as he fought his gag reflex. So Finn also tried to eat some of the pie and said he did not like the pie. She's right, he said to the cough. It's nasty. Sonia tasted the pie too and spit it out fast. Mom, she whispered, we got a big problem. Ricky sat down at the booth and took a forkful for herself. After chewing and forcing herself to swallow, she said, Bleh, something went horribly wrong. Let me have that. She whisked the pie away from us as though it were a ticking time bomb. The shakes are delicious, I swear, said Sonia, especially the chocolate banana. Can I get you one on the house? Yuck, I said, crinkling my nose. But you love chocolate and bananas, said Sonia. I love chocolate and bananas on their own, but not mixed together. You are so weird, said Lulu. I feel the same way, said Finn. That your sister's a weirdo? Asked Lulu. No, that banana-flavored anything is disgusting, said Finn. Thank you. My brother and I high-fived across the table. Lulu and Milo looked at each other and shook their heads like they thought they were both dating the craziest kids in town. I felt like I was starring in some corny teen movie, and that wasn't a bad thing. What about other fruit, like strawberries or raspberries? Sonia asked. They're great on their own, but I don't understand why it's necessary to put them in other stuff, I said. Sonia cracked up. You know what? I'm going to make you the best shake you ever had. They're going to go make a shake. They're going to go make a shake so she can drink it. What are you putting in it? I asked. I'll surprise you, she said, heading back to the counter. I got up and followed her. Afraid I'm going to try to sneak some fruit into your milkshake? Sonia asked. Nope, I just want to see how it's done, I said. Sonia stepped behind the counter while I hopped on a bar stool. This is my cousin Felicity, Sonia said. Felicity, this is Maggie Brooklyn. Will you make her a chocolate malted? And hold the banana, I added. Sure, boss, coming up, said Felicity as she put in the milk, chocolate syrup, ice cream, and malted powder into a high-tech blender. As soon as she pushed the on button, the machine whirred to life, pulverizing the sugary goodness like there was no tomorrow. The loud whir got louder, and then suddenly something flew through the air. Uh-oh. What happened? Next, I felt a cold, wet sensation on my face. I gasped as something icy dripped down my chin. It took a moment to process this new, freezing wet reality. I had milkshake in my hair and milkshake in my ears. Milkshake stuck to my eyelashes and dripped off the tip of my nose. Bleh, I yelled, wiping the shake out of my eyes. Being drenched in chocolate shake doesn't sound like such a hardship, I realized, but trust me, it was bad. A soppy, sticky mess. And most definitely not the look I was going for this afternoon. To think I'd spent so much time selecting my outfit. Jeans that were perfectly worn in, and a yellow V-neck shirt, buttery soft and fitted but not tight. Plus my new brown leather jacket. At least my jacket was back at the table, but still, I was a mess. Oh, poor Maggie, Lulu said, handing me a large pile of napkins. I wiped my face as best I could, but still felt sticky, so I excused myself to head to the bathroom. Going into the bathroom to get cleaned up. It turned out even the bathroom had been designed to fit the whole vintage theme. Old-fashioned ads for soap and Coca-Cola lined the walls. The sink was pedestal style, and the toilet had a chain flush. They'd really gone all out. After I finished washing the remaining milkshake from my hair, I headed back to the booth. But before I made it there, I heard a horrible crash. Glass shattered and people screamed. Next came an eerie silence. Uh-oh. Something else just happened, said glass shattered and people screamed. What is going on? Time seemed to stop, but only momentarily. Suddenly, Ricky raced to the front of the store as if she was chasing someone. And through the hole in the picture window, I saw a person race away. Wait, something's not right. A hole in the picture window? I blinked and tried to process what is in front of me. The gorgeous picture window, the one Sonia's dad had worked so hard on, was shattered. Lying in the middle of broken glass was a rectangular piece of cardboard. I tiptoed through the shards and picked it up carefully with my thumb and forefinger. It was a piece of cardboard box. Someone had written a message on it in black print. Take your cookies elsewhere. Sonia noticed me and walked over. What's that? She asked. I handed her the note and explained, I found this in the glass. Sonia squinted at the note in confusion. What does this mean? She asked. I looked from the shattered window to my friend. Then I took a deep breath before answering her. I think someone's trying to sabotage the store. I didn't say what else I was thinking, which was this. Looks like I've got a new mystery to solve. That is the end of chapter 1. So some weird things were happening at the shop. The pie tasted different. And then the blender quit working. And then someone, we don't know who, but someone threw something through the window that shattered it and left a sign behind saying, take your cookies elsewhere. Guess we'll have to stay tuned for chapter 2 to find out more.